Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Chemistry is Fun. Today we will deal with a new topic, chemical bonding. I will try to introduce you to the topic and we will discuss the cause for why the atoms will go for chemical bonding. Now we see so many types of chemical compounds around us. All the chemical compounds are made up of molecules. The molecules are in turn made up of atoms. The molecules are made up of atoms. In the molecules, the atoms may be of the same element or maybe they are from the different elements. For example, oxygen molecule. It is having two atoms of oxygen which are of the same element. Whereas if you consider HCl, hydrochloric acid, it is having one atom from hydrogen, the other is of chlorine. So we can call it heteroatomic molecule. So now the question arises, what is a molecule? Any type of chemical aggregation. Aggregation means when the atoms are coming together and they are bound by some sort of force. So any chemical aggregation which is made up of atoms and which are neutral. In a molecule there is no charge. It is a neutral entity. That chemical aggregation we call as molecule. Now why these atoms should try to combine? This is because they always try to attain a stable noble gas configuration. We know that for different atoms, the total number of electrons in the valence shell will vary. Some may have 1 electron, some may have 2 electrons and so on. But to be stable, it should have 8 electrons in the valence shell, that is the outermost shell. This is not the case every time. So to attain stability, the atoms try to achieve noble gas configuration. Now what are the noble gases? The gases like helium, neon, argon, they are noble in the sense they do not chemically combine with any other element or with any second atom of the same element, like helium and two helium atoms will not combine. So this is called chemically inert. Since their octet is complete, in case of noble gases the octet is complete, so they do not chemically combine. Other atoms also try to attain stability by attaining a octet, that is complete 8 electrons in the outermost shell. So that is one of the reasons. Now see, in a molecule there may be two atoms, in some cases more than two also, like in sulfuric acid H2SO4, two or more than two. In case of H2SO4, sulfuric acid, you see two atoms of hydrogen, one atom of sulfur, four atoms of oxygen. So it is definitely more than two atoms. They all are joined by some force between them. Now this force which keep the atoms bonded together in a molecule is called a chemical bond. For example, if you take water molecule H2O, the chemical formula is H2O, but it is represented as HOH, that is, with the oxygen atom at the center, two hydrogens are bonded. So there are two OH bonds. You can see one OH bond, another OH bond. The modern theory of valency explains the bonding, or you can say modern theory of bonding is dependent upon the valency, that is the combining capacity. Valency is the combining capacity of atoms of an element. Like as I told HCl, in HCl one hydrogen atom will combine with one chlorine atom to form HCl. If you see H2O, one oxygen atom is capable of combining with two hydrogen atoms, so its valency will be 2. So valency decides bonding. Now in introduction, in short, I just briefed you about the reason why the atoms should go for bonding to form molecule. Now in detail, if you see the cause of chemical bonding, mainly there are two reasons. First is there should be a decrease in energy of the system. Whenever two atoms come near each other, there are two types of forces. One is force of attraction, another is force of repulsion. Now let us see why these forces should arise. Now we know that in an atom, inside there is the nucleus, which is positively charged. It has neutrons and protons. Outside the nucleus, the electrons are revolving in the orbits. Actually, they are the orbitals. The electrons are found around the nucleus in orbitals. Electrons are negatively charged, protons are positively charged. Because of the protons, the nucleus will be positive. Neutrons are neutral. So, since we know that opposite charges attract each other, so electrons and nuclei will attract each other, because as I told, the nuclei will be having a positive charge because of protons present there. The electrons are negatively charged, so they will attract each other. Now, any electron which is under the influence of a nucleus will have lower energy. If you compare it with a free electron is not under influence of any nucleus, so it is having higher energy. But when the electron is attracted by a nucleus, its energy will become low, and lower the energy, stability will be high. So electron under the influence of a nucleus is having lower energy and more stability than any free electron. So between nucleus and electron we find forces of attraction. But if two electrons approach each other, since they are both negatively charged, they will repel, because like charges repel each other. Whenever there is repulsion, there is increase in energy of the system, so the stability will decrease. That is, the stability is reduced. In the same way, when two nuclei approach each other, since they are positively charged, again same charges, like charges, they will repel and hence reduce the stability. So we see that there are two types of forces which are arising. If the net force, after adding the force of attraction and repulsion, we find that if the net force is that of attraction, the total potential energy will decrease and stability will increase, thus a chemical bond will be formed. But if the net result is repulsion, no chemical bonding is possible. Molecule formation cannot take place. So this is one reason. Second reason, as I already stated earlier, Lewis octet rule. When the elements which are having filled outermost shells, as I told you about the noble gases like helium, neon, they have filled outermost shells. They have maximum stability and minimum energy. Always when energy is less, stability will be more. These atoms tend to achieve, means other atoms also tend to achieve 8 electrons, so that they also get a noble gas configuration. This rule is called as Lewis octet rule. That is, the atoms try to achieve 8 electrons in their outermost shells. This they can do either by accepting electrons, or by donating electrons, or by sharing electrons. By doing so, when they achieve 8 electrons in the outermost shell, they gain stability, and during that process, bonding takes place. One atom will give electron, the other atom will accept it. When an atom loses electron, it will become positively charged. The other atom which gains electron, that will become a negative ion. So first atom, when it lost electron, it became positive ion. So these ions can attract each other and form ionic bond. So in the next class we will be discussing about types of bonds. So I hope you understood the topics which I dealt with today. Please subscribe to my channel so that whatever new topics come, you will be acquainted with it easily. Thank you for watching. Thanks.